The week has been commissioned by STEP, Southwark Theatre Education Partnership, which is an incredible organisation and offers opportunities to all the schools in Southwark, like no other borough in London. STEP works very closely in partnership with the schools to place the right sort of work in the right sort of school, to either challenge the school or to challenge the work, or to come to partners that come together and form an interesting final product.
You have 2 hours with Tangled, which is our resident theatre company. They've been in school all week. They've done amazing work with all of the year groups and all of the classes I've worked with.
So Charter School has been a fantastic place to be. We've had such a fun week. I've had a really inspiring week. You were first in the class. Come on, say. The week had two main aims: to work with as many students as possible in a theatrical way, and to make original work with lots of students. I'm called Nathan, I'm the director of Tangled Theatre Company. But also to perform work within the school.
One of your people came up to me and they asked me where the nearest airport was, and I don't know what that was about.
Did you go help them at all?
Well, someone else said that the nearest airport is in Dulwich Village before I could even say where the airport is. And I think it was her, she came up to me and she was talking to me in a different language and I didn't understand.
There was a performance first thing on Monday morning, and then there was another performance yesterday lunchtime. And there's been sort of guerilla installations and smaller performances during the week.
They're doing kind of like the same reaction with their chain.
The tent animal tends to get the same reaction.
We're in a show called Home, and we're going to do some work with you today. So do you have a double lesson split by break? Is that right?
Yeah.
The aim of the week was originality and creating original pieces of work, both by us and by them. What's your name?
My name's Bertie.
Bertie. And what would be your dream breakfast, Bertie?
The Bertie special. Sausages, scrambled eggs, topped off with bacon, and then tomato ketchup, and then another piece of bread on the top.
Is that all a sandwich?
Yeah, it's all in one sandwich.
Where can I get that sandwich? That's a great sandwich.
Well, you'll have to come to my house.
Breakfast next week at Bertie's house. More broadly as well, to inspire them both for what we were doing, and also to inspire them themselves to create original work.
It helped me to understand how if you work as a team, just get a word and you can learn a lot from it and just make stuff.
This is my home. It's comfortable and I love it.
This is my home. I love it because it's big.
One of the things Tangled Feet's work with young people does is allow sharing and honesty and openness. It's a very democratic room. So at the start of each workshop, everyone will have a voice. Everyone says something about their day or about their life. And so the first impact is giving everyone a chance to do something. We work very fast and very physically. You're on the back with long hair. No, next to you. Come and help me judge this side. The impact in a way can be measured slightly from some of the students we've worked with this week. We've worked with them 2 or 3 times, and the way they've developed in those 2 or 3 sessions, and starting to get up on their feet faster, take more risks, work with their bodies more, and less sitting around talking about it. When I say step forward, you'll step back. When I say step back, you'll step forward. Step forward. Step forward. The main success this week for me, in terms of impact, has been watching the students develop their communication and negotiation skills without speaking. So a lot of the workshops we do, a lot of the work we do, is about working physically as a group without speaking, negotiating and communicating. And that impact is about experience.
And every class has been like completely different. Had to concentrate, you know, to have fun.
The champion's out, there'll be a new champion. They'll remember how they felt when they achieved something as a group without speaking, and hopefully that will stay within them.
You can talk about the pit, barbecue, the band of jumping, the people too. Mess around. They're doing the mess around. They're doing the mess around. Everybody doing the mess around.
Remembering how it felt to focus, remembering how it felt to concentrate, and if it can be achieved once, it's easier to achieve again.
But I thought we were doing a lot more acting than we would, but we didn't. But that's not bad. I thought that was fun. But yeah, as I said, it's very different to a normal drama lesson.
The documentary that's being filmed by some of the Year 11 students is, I see, an integral part of what we're doing here. I enjoy working with students in multi-layers, and making something and then recording it and archiving it is really important about how it's recorded and why and what bits of it are recorded. Because Tangled Feet's work is about impact. It's about, we work in public spaces, we do shows for audiences of 1, audiences of 1,000. So it's about an impact on people. So therefore, to record that impact, to film students walking past the work, or to ask questions of the students or the teacher or the actors is really important. It's also wonderful for those students who maybe aren't so bent on performance. They have another access to the work by filming, editing and producing. And it's been remarkable how much they've got into that. They're in their 3 teams, their production teams. And to watch some of the students really take on the role of, producer and timekeeping and saying, the interview's up, we've got to move on.
Do you feel that, you can make a difference in, a child's life or a younger person's life? Because, it fills them up with joy and makes this positive energy kind of thing.
I think theatre can change people's lives. And I mean that in a very real way. I mean in terms of it actually changes how you think about the world and how you behave. For young people, I think it's massively important in terms of how you work together, how you be a group. And it's also about sharing and confidence. And actually, in our sessions at Tangled Feet, everyone at some point does something. Everyone will say something or carry something or do something. So it's very democratic. There's also something that interests me very much about editing, and I think that interests me about young people editing, which is creating narrative. And they'll realise, hopefully, when they start to edit these hours of footage, that they can create the story of the week.
Yeah, we did an activity with a suitcase, and we had to think of what came to our mind when we said home, and then we had to use that suitcase to portray the image that we saw. And I thought that was really interesting because I'd never really done something like that before, and it helped me to think on the spot, to improvise. And
they'll probably, hopefully, be surprised how much control they have over what they use. And that's a very important lesson, I think, in our media age. STEP believes very, very strongly in challenging students through professional work. So by having a theatre company in school, by 5 professional actors and a professional director being in school for a week, just having us around the school, talking to the students, having a different relationship with the students, inspires them to maybe behave and make work in a more professional way, but also think in a slightly different way about why we make work. Because Tangled Feet aren't aiming for results, we're aiming for a process. And STEP understands this. STEP understands the power and the beauty of professional people, professional actors and directors working with young people on an even scale. So there's no hierarchy. It's just all making work together. The other thing about STEP is it's so broad, the range of workshops and projects it runs. We're a resident theatre company in school for a week. There's also poetry workshops, dance, drumming, literature. And so throughout these 2 weeks in Southwark, there's thousands of young people are touching the arts in some way. And that's a superb thing for the borough.